7 signs your dual vibration is activated for the new earth. There comes a moment in your spiritual evolution where your body may still look the same, your voice may still speak in the same tones, and your name may still ring in the ears of those who knew the old you, but you are not the same, not even close. This is the moment most people can't explain with words. It's subtle, yet seismic. It's quiet, yet it splits your entire reality in two. That moment when you first feel your dual vibration activate, not just the human frequency of survival, logic and physical experience, but the other vibration, the one that came with you when you were born but stayed dormant until you were ready, the vibration of your cosmic identity, the vibration of your infinite self. When this dual vibration activates, you begin to live in 2 worlds at once, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever feel normal again. This is not something you ask for, it's not something you can force. It's something that comes for you when the timing is aligned, when your soul's contract says now. And it doesn't show up with fireworks, it shows up with interruptions. You start to notice that the things that used to keep you entertained now feel hollow. The noise of the world becomes unbearable. You're drawn to silence, to nature, to conversations that carry weight and depth. You crave truth like oxygen, and you begin to feel this strange magnetic pull inside your body, as if a second current is moving beneath your skin, one that doesn't speak in words, but in knowing. That's your dual vibration turning on, and once it does, your real journey begins.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first sign is that you start to feel like a walking contradiction. One moment you're grounded, present, human, loving your relationships, laughing at a joke, sipping coffee, doing your job. The next moment, you're dissociating from the matrix, seeing through the illusion of systems, questioning why you're even here. This isn't confusion, it's calibration. Your 2 vibrations are learning to coexist. One is rooted in the time-bound reality of Earth, the other is connected to the infinite field that extends far beyond this planet, this body, this identity. And here's the kicker, both are you. Neither is more real, neither is more holy. The mastery is in holding both frequencies, effortlessly, simultaneously, without splitting yourself in half. But that takes time, and it takes breakdowns. The second sign your dual vibration is active is that your former identity begins to collapse. You may feel like you're losing interest in your career, your goals, your social circle. You may even lose your will to achieve in the old way. That's not laziness, that's deconstruction. The old vibration you used to operate from, fear, hustle, validation seeking, is dying, and it has to die to make space for the new vibration to lead. This part is brutal. It's where people think they're depressed, lost or broken, but what they're really experiencing is soul rewiring. Your inner compass is being upgraded. Your intuitive system is being turned on. Your ego is being asked to step down, not to disappear, but to become a servant to the soul. The third sign is that you begin to receive messages, not in words, but in frequencies. You'll walk into a space and feel the energy before anyone speaks. You'll hear someone talking and know they're lying, not because of the words, but because their vibration can't hide. You'll start having dreams that feel more real than waking life. Synchronicities will multiply. Animals will behave differently around you. It's like you've stepped behind the curtain of reality and now you can hear the hum of the simulation. You're not hallucinating, you're tuning in. Your second vibration, the one connected to the new Earth grid, is now online, and it's showing you the deeper mechanics of reality. But here's where it gets even stranger. The fourth sign is that you begin to feel homesick, but not for a place you've ever known in this life. It's a soul-deep ache, a longing that doesn't fit into any earthly language. You might look up at the stars and cry for no reason. You might feel like Earth is foreign, dense, confusing. This is not a sign of madness. This is your multidimensional memory surfacing. You're remembering that you exist far beyond this incarnation. You're remembering that you chose to come here not to escape, but to anchor. And that ache you feel is not weakness, it's activation. It's your higher self reminding you, yes, you're here now, but you are more than this body. Stay awake. And so you begin to live differently. You start asking different questions. You stop asking, how can I get more? And begin asking, what am I here to give? You stop trying to be impressive and start becoming invisible, because you realize your real power isn't in being seen, it's in being felt. You no longer chase energy, you generate it. You no longer seek truth, you radiate it. This is the fifth sign. Your presence begins to shift the field around you. People feel calmer near you, or more triggered, or more awakened. You don't have to say a word. Your frequency is doing the talking. But this level of embodiment requires serious integrity, because your dual vibration is not a toy. It's not something to show off. It's a sacred responsibility. And the sixth sign is that your life begins to self-correct. Anything that is not aligned with your soul's frequency will start to fall away, and fast. Relationships, habits, addictions, coping mechanisms, you won't even have to try. They'll simply dissolve, or they'll be ripped away, not to punish you, but to purify you. Because the new Earth doesn't carry distortion, it carries resonance, and your dual vibration is now syncing with a higher field that doesn't tolerate what's false. And finally, the seventh sign is this: you no longer feel separate from the Earth. You begin to merge with it. You no longer see yourself as a being on the planet, but a frequency of the planet. Your body starts craving different foods. Your feet ache until they touch soil. Your breath deepens when you're near trees. You feel the pain of the collective as if it were your own, but you also feel the hope, the renewal, the rebirth, because you're not just waking up for yourself, you're waking up as a bridge between dimensions, between timelines, between human and divine. So let me ask you something very uncomfortable. Are you willing to live as a walking contradiction, a multidimensional being in a single body, knowing that most people won't understand you, but the Earth will? Are you willing to be misunderstood by the world just to be in perfect harmony with the cosmos? Because if your answer is yes, then your dual vibration has already been activated, and the new Earth is no longer a prophecy, it's you. The frequency split. Why the old world can't follow you where you're going. Once your dual vibration is activated, something irreversible begins to occur, not just inside you but around you. It's subtle at first, a friction, a quiet tension, a growing sense that you no longer fully belong to the world you used to thrive in. The conversations feel thinner, the routines feel heavier. The ambitions that once lit a fire under you now feel like chains. You haven't lost your drive. You've simply outgrown the frequency that used to fuel it. This is the beginning of the frequency split, and it's not just a concept. It's real, it's energetic, and it's happening right now all over the planet. The world is dividing not through war or politics, but through vibration. Those who are waking up are beginning to vibrate at a completely different level than those who are still asleep, and the gap is widening. This isn't about superiority. It has nothing to do with being better, smarter, or more spiritual. It's about alignment. It's about resonance. When your dual vibration activates, you begin to resonate with a new earth frequency, a higher, purer, more coherent energy field that's not based on fear, scarcity, or control. This field is rooted in truth, love, sovereignty, and connection to Source. And once you step into this field, the old systems of thought, of behavior, of society begin to glitch. Not because they're wrong, but because they're no longer yours. You're not vibrating in that dimension anymore. That's why certain relationships start to feel suffocating, why certain jobs feel like cages, why being in certain spaces makes your body tighten, your breath shallow, your soul restless. You're not broken, you're not lost, you're simply misaligned. The old world is trying to hold you in a contract you didn't sign, but now your frequency is telling the truth louder than your mouth ever could. I'm not available for distortion anymore. And here's the hard part. People won't always understand. You might find yourself pulling away from friends you've known for years. You might feel a growing distance between you and your family. You might look at the life you built and realize it no longer fits. This isn't failure, it's graduation. You're not abandoning the old world, you're transcending it. But the old world will often interpret your evolution as rejection. That's okay, let it. Because if you try to drag the old world with you, you'll dim your light to make others comfortable. You'll distort your signal to stay relatable. And the moment you do, you'll feel it in your body, like something sacred just collapsed inside you. You must understand, when your dual vibration activates, you're no longer just living for yourself. You're living as a representative of a new earth frequency. That means your energy becomes a beacon. People will start to project onto you. Some will be magnetized, others will be repelled. Some will want to follow you, others will try to tear you down. But none of that matters if you stay aligned. If you remember that your only job is not to convince or convert, but to transmit, to hold a frequency, even when it costs you everything. This is the part of the journey where loneliness becomes alchemy, where silence becomes sacred, where solitude is not emptiness but expansion. You begin to realize that being alone does not mean you're disconnected, it means you're recalibrating. The noise has fallen away so you can hear the instructions, and those instructions rarely come in words. They come in sensations, in symbols, in synchronicities. You'll find yourself guided to places, people, ideas that seem random, but aren't. Your higher self is navigating now, and it doesn't speak the language of logic. It speaks frequency. So what happens to the old world? It keeps spinning. It keeps clinging to its illusions, its dramas, its power games. But you no longer feed it. You no longer fight it. You walk beside it, but not within it. And that's the shift You're not here to destroy the old world. You're here to out-vibrate it. And when enough of us do, the old system collapses under the weight of its own irrelevance. Not through fire, through frequency. But this requires radical responsibility. You can't fake your vibration. You can't bypass your inner work. You can't wear a mask and expect to carry the signal. The new earth doesn't respond to performance. It responds to purity. And purity doesn't mean perfection. It means alignment. It means your thoughts, your words, your actions, your intentions, they all carry the same signal. No static, no distortion. The signal derange, threatens to distort your life, your intentions, they all carry the same signal. The static, no distort, just truth. Let me ask you this, are you willing to be the one who walks away, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment? Are you willing to be the one who doesn't play the game even when you could win it because you know the game itself is broken? That's the frequency split, and it's not just theoretical anymore, it's happening now. You're not here to reform the old. You're here to remember the new. You're not here to fix the system. You're here to transmit a reality where the system is no longer needed. That reality already exists. It's not far away. It's not in the future. It's in your field, right now, waiting for you to claim it, not with words, but with embodiment. And here's the secret. Once you fully live in the new earth frequency, the old world can't touch you. Not because you escape it, but because you outgrow it. Like a snake shedding its skin. You can't go back, and you don't want to. You're not trying to fit in anymore. You're trying to become embodied light. How to live as the bridge between dimensions without losing yourself. When your dual vibration is fully online and the frequency split becomes your lived reality, you enter into the most sacred and paradoxical phase of your evolution, learning how to stay here, not just spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. You are now a walking bridge between dimensions, and this is no metaphor. You are living in the third dimension while vibrating with codes from the fifth, seventh, even higher realms. Your feet touch earth, but your consciousness dances with stars. And the challenge now is not to ascend further, but to anchor deeper. You're not here to escape the human experience. You're here to transfigure it. This is where many lose themselves. They get so high on downloads, visions, cosmic truths, that they start to disconnect from their body, from their relationships, from the responsibilities of being human. But that's not embodiment. That's avoidance covered in glitter. Real embodiment is messy, it's grounded, it's painfully honest. It means taking all that divine light, all that infinite wisdom, and channeling it into how you speak to your partner, how you show up for your children, how you treat your body, how you respond to stress. It means making the sacred practical. And it's the hardest part of the path. You're not here to float above the world. You're here to bring the heavens into it. You're here to remember how to feel pain without becoming it, how to witness suffering without being consumed, how to hold the fire of truth in your chest without burning down everything you touch. You're here to learn that being a bridge means learning to hold polarity, not just light, not just love, but rage, grief, confusion, stillness. You're here to hold it all. That's what makes you powerful, not your clarity, but your capacity. Your dual vibration gives you access to higher realms. But your body is the channel. If you abandon it, you lose the signal. If you neglect it, distort it, shame it, you scramble the frequency. This is why embodiment isn't optional. It's the technology. Your nervous system becomes the antenna. Your heart becomes the transmitter. Your breath becomes the code. And this is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about asking yourself moment to moment, can I bring my full frequency into this? Can I stay open, grounded, and true even in this? And there will be days when the answer is no. There will be days when your higher self is singing, but your human self is tired, frustrated, anxious. That's okay. That's real. You didn't come here to bypass your humanity. You came here to redeem it, to remember that the flesh is not the enemy, it's the instrument, and like any instrument, it needs tuning, it needs care, it needs rest. You'll feel the weight of the world more intensely now, because your field is more sensitive, your heart is more open, you can no longer unsee what you've seen. You'll feel the suffering in the collective as if it's your own. But here's the thing, it's not your job to carry it. It's your job to transform it by being the living example of what's possible, by taking all that pain and responding with truth, with presence, with frequency. You'll be misunderstood, not because you're wrong, but because your very existence challenges people's unconscious agreements. You'll trigger others simply by being yourself. You'll threaten systems just by standing still, and you'll have to learn how to stay soft in your power, how to hold your truth without armor, how to walk as a lighthouse, not a warrior. Because the world doesn't need more people fighting for change, it needs more people embodying the change. So how do you not lose yourself in this? You root. In nature, in breath, in the body, in the moment. You don't cling to the highs and you don't fear the lows. You let energy move through you like wind through trees. You stay supple. You stay honest. You stay human. That's the mastery. Not being above it all, but being in it all. Awake, aware, and aligned. Let me ask you something only your soul can answer. Can you trust that you can hold the infinite without needing to be infinite all the time? Can you let your humanity be the canvas, not the prison? Can you live as the bridge without needing to be the destination? If you can, then you've stepped into the most sacred role available in this timeline. You've become a stabilizer, a transducer, a field holder, and your very presence becomes a map for others who are waking up but don't know what's happening to them yet. You don't need to preach. You don't need to convince. You don't even need to explain. You just need to be. Fully, authentically, complete. This is what the new earth is made of. Not ideas, not systems, not beliefs, but beings. Beings who have remembered who they are and are now willing to live that truth in every breath, every step, every interaction. The new earth is not a place. It's a frequency. And you, dear one, are the vessel through which it enters the world. The final transmission, becoming the living code of the new earth frequency. At some point on this path, the seeking ends, the questions dissolve, the resistance fades, not because you've figured everything out, but because you finally remembered something deeper than logic. You already are what you came here to become. You're no longer trying to activate your dual vibration. You're living it, breathing it, walking it, and in doing so, you become something rare and revolutionary. A living transmission of the new earth frequency, not because you're perfect, but because you're honest. Not because you're enlightened, but because you're embodied. You become the code. This is where your presence becomes your message. You don't have to say much. You don't have to convince anyone of anything. Just by existing, you shift the field. People feel peace before you speak. They feel truth in your silence. They don't know why, but something about you makes them remember their own light. That's because you're not just a person anymore. You're a portal, a walking invitation back into alignment. You've become the bridge from the old world to the new. The technology isn't out there, it's you. But this level of embodiment carries a sacred responsibility. It's not about being in the spotlight, it's about being in right relation with yourself, with the planet, with the collective. You don't get to bypass anymore. You don't get to hide behind spiritual language or cosmic visions. Everything you say must be rooted in integrity. Everything you do must reflect coherence. Your energy must match your words. Your actions must match your values. Your vibration must be clean. Because now, more than ever, people can feel what's real and what's not. The new earth is built on transparency, and transparency requires radical authenticity. You'll notice how your life continues to simplify, not because you're shrinking, but because you're shedding everything that isn't aligned. Your choices become clearer, your boundaries become firmer, your intuition becomes louder. You stop participating in anything that feels forced, fake, or fragmented. You start listening not just to your thoughts, but to your frequency. Does this feel expansive, attractive? Does it raise your vibration or drain it? You begin to navigate life through resonance, not reason. And that's how you stay on path, not by discipline, but by alignment. You'll also begin to notice how time behaves differently around you. Linear timelines seem to collapse. Synchronicities become constant. Manifestation speeds up. You'll think of someone and they'll message you. You'll speak a truth and the universe will echo it back within hours. This is not coincidence. This is what happens when your frequency is clean enough to interface directly with the quantum field. You're not just on Earth anymore. You're co-creating with it. Your vibration becomes a blueprint and reality begins to organize itself around your signal. And yet you remain humble, because you know this isn't about power, it's about service. You didn't come here to ascend and leave everyone behind. You came here to hold the line while others catch up. You came here to be the calm in the chaos, the clarity in the confusion, the root in the storm. And that means remembering every single day that your presence is more powerful than your performance, that your stillness is more impactful than your strategy, that your frequency is your legacy. To ask you one final question, the kind that only your soul can answer in silence. Can you live in such deep alignment that every breath you take becomes a prayer, every step a transmission, every moment an offering to the new earth that's already here within you? Can you let go of needing to be anything other than exactly what you are in your rawness, in your power, in your presence. Because if you can, then there's nothing more to chase. The transmission is complete. You've become the code. You are the message. You are the invitation. You are the evidence that a new world is not only possible, it's already unfolding through you, around you, as you. And now, the earth feels it, the cosmos echoes it, the veil is lifted, the frequency is set. Welcome home.